Welcome to the Leadernomics Show, and today we have a technology segment. We have with us Kevin Abdulrahman. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
What brings you here to Malaysia?
I was invited to speak at the Gorilla Entrepreneurs
Right. Now,
seminar.
it's interesting. You're a mind expert, or mind nutrition expert, right? What's that?
Mind nutrition is a phrase I put together.
Okay.
You nourish, you take care of yourself in terms of nourishing your body with food.
Right.
You take care of your car, you put fuel and oil in it.
Exactly.
And
we don't take care of our mind.
You don't take care of your mind. So
why don't we take care of our mind? I mean, after all, it is one of the most important parts of our body.
Absolutely. First thing is awareness.
Okay.
I think most people are becoming more and more aware. Coming out of the crisis, people are realizing, hey, I got to take control of life, and the asset or the mind that I've left undug is in the mind.
Okay.
And more people are becoming aware of it. Once you become aware of it, then you seek the information to nourish it.
Okay, and how do you nourish it?
Nourishing it by taking the right information, attending seminars, workshops, trainings, reading books, modeling on successful people, whether it's business or whatever aspect of your life that's important to you. There's a lot of knowledge that's out there.
Okay.
And what you need to do is really just take it on board, something that's going to help you move forward in life.
Do you have some practical tips on how you can nourish our minds?
Absolutely. I talk about attaining a winning mind.
Okay.
And
is that from your book?
It's
part of the book on winning the game of life.
Absolutely. First book, Winning the Game of Life, and the third book as well, Whatever You're Into.
Okay.
I talk about a winning mind. In essence, winning is whatever that is important to you. Success is whatever you define it to be. And in terms of being able to be a successful person, you need to have the mind of a successful person.
Okay.
So there are certain things that you think about, such as beliefs.
Right.
If you talk to anyone that's successful in any aspect of life, they have certain beliefs in their mind that is different from people that are struggling to make ends meet.
Right.
So you nourish your mind.
So can we change those beliefs?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, and how do we do that?
You seek the right information, but more importantly, you make a decision. You make a decision to actually want to move on, because no one else can do it for you.
Okay, so you help people along this journey of nutrition or helping to, I guess, enhance their mind a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I run a lot of trainings, workshops, speaking conferences.
Okay, so and then what happens? So once my mind is ready, is there some other things that needs to happen?
I always talk about it. As a leader, as a winner in life, you always have to be a student of the game.
Okay.
So you're always constantly learning,
Okay.
because we can all do better.
Right, and what's being a student of the game mean?
Student of the game, whatever your game is in life, we all have different games we play in.
Right.
So within your profession, within your social circles, your personal life, you got to go, how can I do better? The one statement that I always get all my students to practice every day, how can I be better?
Okay. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself, because you have a very interesting background, right? You were from the Middle East and went out to New Zealand, right?
Yes, my parents, my dad was from Yemen.
Okay.
Mum is from Iran.
Okay.
I was born in the UK,
Okay.
raised in New Zealand, lived in Australia for
So
a
you're
bit,
truly a global person, right?
and now I live on a plane.
Okay. And you don't have a base now?
Literally, I don't. I get called on all over the world. I speak over 5 continents. So I'm usually on a plane, and if I'm not on a plane, I'm on a stage.
Interesting. So tell us how you got to where you got to. I'm sure it started with your mind, right? You followed the same process that you're writing about?
Most definitely. I was frustrated when I was 16, and I always wondered how come only a very few people get to do what they want in life. Whether it's a nice car, a nice house, business, relationships, sports. How is it that very few people do it? So instead of just remaining frustrated, I started doing things. And I tell people I've actually failed a lot. I'm a student of the game, and part of being a student of the game is you have to fail a lot. And I'm a king of failure. When it comes to failing, I've failed a lot. Coming through the crisis, we lost everything. But that's part of the game. You have to just realize, hey,
This is the recent crisis?
The recent crisis, absolutely.
Okay.
You can't just sit there and moan about it. You have to do something with it. But you look at anyone that's successful, and it's through failures that you learn your lessons, and then you operate smarter, sharper, smoother, moving forward.
So tell us one of the lessons that you've learned from one of your failures.
It's never permanent.
Okay. It's never permanent?
It's never permanent. Sometimes people, they see failure,
and then
they
experience dwell
failure.
into it.
Exactly. They dwell into it, and then they no longer are the person they used to be. They used to be free-spirited, they try things. But because they experienced failure in the past, they stop doing, they stop trying new things.
Yep.
Whereas that was just a failure of method. Maybe you made wrong decisions, you didn't have the right information, and we all make mistakes. There's no big deal about it. As kids, we make mistakes. You don't have a kid that's crawling and is trying to walk, falls off.
Immediately.
Oh,
right,
stop right there.
Right.
It doesn't happen. But unfortunately, as we grow up, there's the stigma of failing, and failing is not right, or it's not good, or how is it going to look in front of other people. It's got nothing to do with that. You look at every single successful person, every single leader, every single winner, they have a string of failures.
So why is it that so many people dwell on failures? We know it. I mean, conceptually, I said, yep. I mean, you're spot on. But somehow we seem to continually dwell in these failures. You know?
Absolutely. You got to look at it from an aspect of it's also a comfort zone. Okay. If you're failing or you're trying to do something or you're trying to start something, you have to push against your comfort zone. Where you are in life is a result. It's a result of the actions you've taken, the decisions you've made, the thoughts you've had, and the beliefs you hold. For you to change that result will require you to have a new set of beliefs, which means you have to think differently, make different decisions, and take different actions. And that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. So it's crossing over that comfort zone. It's easier to just dwell in that failure and not do anything.
Right.
And people, what they fail to realize is unless I get uncomfortable now and get the results, I'm actually paying a big price. Because the time will come in life when you look back, if you're fortunate, all you'll be able to do is reflect. And sadly, if you're reflecting and it's filled with regrets, it doesn't make for much of a movie.
Now, you're interesting. At 25, you've achieved so much. I mean, how old are you now?
I'm now 30.
You're 30, right?
I'm 30 now.
So
I had done quite well. I came from average background, did quite well by the time I was 25, and then lost everything through the crisis and came back up again.
Right.
But that's, again, part of the game, and you learn how to move smarter.
Right. I know you had this quote, any crisis is a lesson to be learned, not from something to be driven by, right? What does that mean?
Again, from every event, the choice that you make in terms of the meaning you give it is up to you. So you look at two people and an event happens, such as the crisis, and someone will say, oh my God, there's no more opportunities. Opportunities are nowhere. Whereas if you take nowhere and space it out differently, it becomes now here. A lot of people say, oh, it's impossible to do business these days.
Right.
You separate I am from possible, the same impossible now becomes I'm possible.
So Kevin, tell me, what's your take on leadership?
Leadership is interesting. I find that leadership is an overused word, but underutilized. So when I do talks, and I'm doing one later on this afternoon as well, I talk about it's not leadership mumbo jumbo anymore. What we need now is leadership not by title, not by authority, not by telling others what to do. It's leadership of self. Every person, no matter where they are in their working life or social life, they need to take leadership from within. It needs to be leadership by way of action, leadership by way of example. You need to understand that you need to take control of your life. Your results in life are in your hands. You might not be able to control the events that are around you, but how you choose to deal with those events is within you. And that's leadership from within.
And you speak a lot about leadership?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is there a secret to leadership, or it's really, again, goes back to the stuff you mentioned yourself?
Absolutely. The secret is there is no secret, but what there are is fundamental truths that one needs to be aware of, and then secondly put into practice.
Now, let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Sure. Pieces of advice. If I'm a college student just getting out of college, what advice would you give me?
I wish they actually teach this at school. In fact, I finished a training program and I called it Everything They Forgot to Teach Us at School. And one of which is they forget to teach us, which is what I recommend, is find something that you're good at or you can be good at. And secondly, find something that you're passionate about. If you can find something that you're passionate about and are good at, that's your sweet spot. And you look at anyone that's successful, they've been able to find something they were passionate about, so it no longer felt like work for them. They woke up in the morning energized to go for it. And they were good at it. Give you an example. I'm not a singer, so it doesn't matter how much I want to sing, I can't do it. But if it comes to dancing, I love dancing, and I can learn to become a good dancer. I can put that together to become a professional dancer.
So you want to be a professional dancer?
Not really, but I'm a professional public speaker. That's my sweet spot. I get to do what I love to do.
Okay, fantastic. Now, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm starting up a business, what advice would you give me?
Never let reasons such as money, time, resources, not having the knowledge at the moment hold you back. Act from a point of, what if money was not an issue? What if time was not an issue? What if I could have all the partnerships I want? How would I make my decisions? And what actions would I take? And based on that what if, do exactly that. Because when you move forward with that mentality, everything comes towards it.
Now, final piece of advice. What advice would you give to our viewers out here?
No one has the authority to tell you whether you can be great or not. You hold that authority.
We have Kevin Abdulrahman here with us on the Leadernomics Show. Kevin's a motivational speaker, international author of a number of books, and also a mind nutrition expert. Kevin, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.